Children's toys are being given an impromptu sales tax break through the holidays, which means it was finally time for me to buy Blurrg. Let me preempt and say this is not a political video, and if you comment about politics in Canada, you're getting blocked. I didn't buy this when it first came out for a few reasons. The first is the obvious. I have more than enough Mandalorians. The second is that I kind of backdoor hoped that they were going to re-release this on like a Battle for Endor card with one of the Battle for Endor Raider characters. I actually had it mistaken in my head, and I thought the EWOKS rode the Blurrgs. They don't. It's the Raiders that ride the Blurrgs. But I was like, maybe they'll do that. That'll be really cool. And so I didn't buy it. And this is the weird game that we're in now with Hasbro, where it's like you kind of have to think 2 moves ahead of like, how will Hasbro re-exploit everything they are making so that I am more likely to buy it again in the future. And I don't hold it past Hasbro that they're going to do a Battle for Endor version of the Blurrg that I'm probably then going to have to buy. But, you know, with 13% off this guy, I was like, this is finally the moment for the Blurrg. Let's start by pulling him out. Don't need that. This is going straight into like a donation box for toys for children for Christmas. And that donation box is probably going to spit it straight back out saying, I have enough Mandalorians. But the Blurrg, look at that guy. What does he come with? Let's start with, he comes with the arm that is not currently attached to his body, plus his riding harness. I'm really thrilled that Hasbro is back in the Beast game. Like, I mean, come on. Blurrg leg, also called a bleg. Another Blurrg leg. I bet you assembly is real easy on this, which is put the legs in the leg holes, like this. No satisfying pop. Now I'm afraid that I've done this incorrect. Whoop! You know what comes right off is that tail, but it goes right back on. 2 legs in place. Just gave you an inadvertent shot of the Blurrg bum, also called the Blum. We're just having fun here, everyone. Blurrg arm. Blarm. The joint sticks straight out on the second arm, so you have to put it in and then fold the arm forward, and then you've got a nearly fully assembled Blurrg. I'm Blurrg. Oh, wow. Okay, there is surprising range of movement. This is basically Blurrg's taking a dump, but that is a lot of range of movement on the legs, which means you're gonna be able to get some pretty unique, if you end up buying multiple Blurrgs, as I'm sure we will all be forced to in time, you will be able to get some pretty deep stances on a Blurrg. Oh, there's just no way to do this seriously. Nor should there be. Into the old mouth. Slide it over the gums. Look out, tummy. Here it comes. And now you've got a bridled Blurrg. That's a pretty tough looking customer. I mean, that's great. Like, obviously the deco changed quite a bit between the beautiful stop motion animation Blurrgs on the Ewok movie and the CGI Blurrgs that they did for the show. This is a kind of a flat gray Blurrg, although, you know, they've done a nice job on the painting. Like, there is certainly a variation in how he is presented. If those of you who did buy the Razor Crest, I'd love to see if the Blurrg fits in the Razor Crest, and if so, how many Blurrgs? Is the plural of Blurrg? Now I know what you're thinking. If you're not going to open your Mandalorian and put him on the Blurrg, the reason they sold us another Mandalorian is the cloth cape. So I'm assuming the original VC Mandalorian with the not cloth cape, you could probably make it work on this were you so inclined, but I don't actually have any great fondness for that. I wanted to try the Klatooinian Raider on there to again get kind of more towards that Battle for Endor vibe. And what I realized as soon as I'd made that decision is the Klatooinian Raider does not have the right hips to sit on a Blurrg. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit, well, I mean, kinda. You can kind of get a deep enough stance there. It's not gonna look perfect, is my point. Like, because these two were not designed to work together, but I don't care because it's a damn toy. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I was a kid, I think this is actually like part of the spirit of how and why they made The Mandalorian. When I was a kid, you just sort of took whatever toys you had and you made the rest up yourself. But yeah, that's a cutie. That's a cutie. I dig on that Blurrg. I'm just going to get so much fun out of the articulated mouth. So blurg it up Blurrg style, as we do here on the channel. And as usual, thank you all for watching. And hey, you know, we're coming up on, this could be the last video of 2024, depending on whether those Acolyte Retro figures arrive next week, which I'm losing hope on those. So thanks for watching all year. It's been kind of fun moving into this kind of material and also dragging some crap out of my archives, which, you know, those of you who saw the Star Trek video last week, sorry, it was Star Trek, not Star Wars. I'm so sorry. But, you know, stuff like that, I've been going through my hard drives and there's a lot of weird old stuff about Star Trek and Star Wars in the 90s that I may share on the channel. Bye, everyone. Blurrg.